To the homie that I think he's right here. To the homie that I think he's right here, bro. It's not Halloween. Why you dressed up like, hey, 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 it's Fat Albert. Oh, cold for you. Man, this is crazy though. We got sheriff says a mother threw her 4-year-old into Ohio Lake during a mental health.
Tonight, we are getting new details about
I'm
the
tired of the
tragic
mental
story
health
in
problems,
Tuscarawas
bro.
County that our
Y'all get your mind right. Y'all go pray or something. Y'all get your mind right. That's so.
team has been following for you since the weekend.
A father and a 4-year-old child are
Hmm?
dead, while their wife and mother is in a mental health facility. This is a story that has raised a lot of questions. And today, the sheriff trying to provide some answers to this tragedy.
That ain't the sheriff. Perlita, I know you not the sheriff. Carmine, mommy, I know you not the sheriff. I know you not the sheriff.
News 5's Nadine Abusada was there
But let's not forget though, hey.
covering this story for you. Joins us now live outside the sheriff's office. Nadine, what have we
Oh,
learned?
Well, Katie.
whoo, my bad. Back to it like we never left. Like I said, you are not the sheriff. You the little news anchor lady. They know what they doing too. That little sweet voice on you. Let's hear it again from the top.
Inside the sheriff's
From
office,
the
Nadine, what have we learned?
top.
Well, Katie, Damon, the sheriff's office is describing this as an unusual tragedy. They say the mother was in mental.
Nadine Abusada. Nadine. Mm-mm,
Crisis, specifically
mm-mm,
spiritual delusion. And after talking to her
huh,
family, they learned that there were incidents.
huh. I need my spiritual, not spiritual healing. No, it's a little wordplay. Because I wasn't going to say sexual on YouTube. But I just did, so.
In the past, but harm was never a part of the discussion until now. This was the scene that first raised concern. A 911 call came into the. This was the scene that first raised concern. A 911 call came into the sheriff's office Saturday morning after a mother, along with her 3 teenage children, crashed a golf cart into Atwood Lake.
There were actually people, according to witnesses, chasing the lady, the golf cart, through the grass, yelling at her to hit the brakes because they thought it was, careening out of control.
But as the story began to unfold, investigators realized something was off.
This bitch really just drove off into the lake. I'm tired of y'all back talking. Whipped hard towards the lake. Is Karen towards the lake? Everybody, Karen, stop. The kids. It's their fault. It's their fault. Off into the lake, bro? Off into the lake? At the golf course? At Wood Lake.
About this crash.
The first witness that arrives, the help, is asking the woman, does she need help up? And he tries to help, and she suggests
Leave
to
her.
him not to help her, to just pray for her.
Rewind a few hours. Deputies say the family
She been listening to YSN Flow? Don't ask me how I'm doing. Pray for me.
of 6 who belong to the
Say
Old
to
Order
my pussy
Amish Church
way.
were spending the weekend at Atwood Lake
She
to
been listening to
relax.
YSN.
But early Saturday morning, the mother
And
and the
rap ain't
father
good for
went to the
y'all.
lake, where the
Y'all
sheriff
gonna be
says
driving off
they
in
were
the lake,
performing
into the
tasks
lake.
for God.
Some of them were bizarre. Some of them were just swimming exercises. The most bizarre was that God told her to allow herself to be swallowed by a fish.
The couple returned to their.
Is she thinking of Jonah in the well? She thinking of Jonah in the well. Oh. Pray for this woman, man. Good for this woman
camper, but the husband,
and the
disappointed in
family.
his performance, decided to go back to the lake
Thank
alone.
you.
He took his clothes off
Thank
to
you.
attempt to swim out to prove his faith and likely drown accidentally.
That was the last time
Whoa, they're both crazy? Hold on. Mom and dad, both of them are crazy.
Allow herself to be swallowed by a fish.
the couple returned to their
Followed by
camper,
a
but the
fish.
husband, disappointed in his performance, decided to go back. Returned to their camper, but
That God told her to allow herself to be swallowed by a fish.
the couple returned to their camper, but the husband, disappointed in his performance, decided to go back to the lake alone.
He took his clothes off to attempt to swim out to prove his faith and likely drown accidentally.
That was the last time the husband was seen. Hours later, the sheriff says the mother took her 4-year-old in the golf cart towards the lake.
She began to express more that she had thrown the child in the water to give that child to God.
The sheriff's office says she then returned.
You're doing the opposite of what you think you're doing. And that's what they do out there in California, not in Ohio. They do that in California. That's code. It's not really code. It's really me just like trying to go around it and say and be as direct as possible. But out in California, next to that one lake, out there in those one woods, that's what they do out there. And they are not praying to God. So what are you talking about? Yo, even in the Bible, whenever God asks someone to offer their child up to him, right? And he is fixing to sacrifice his son for God. God stops him, says that he's proven his faith, that he knows that he was fixing to do it, and has him kill a lamb. Sacrifice a lamb instead. It was a lamb or a shepherd. It was one of the two. I'm pretty sure it was a lamb. It's all symbolism, but I'm just saying. That's not how God works. I don't know where you got that from. I don't know why you thought that in the first place. You're tripping. Whatever you're smoking, I would say pass me some, but I'm actually good on that. I'm so good on that. So good on that.
And picked up her 15-year-old daughter to perform similar tasks in the water, then did the same with her 18-year-old twins. When the children completed the task to their mother's satisfaction, investigators believe she had plans to go back to the lake.
And she drove around the lake erratically, praying a couple places. It's our understanding that she then heard the voice again telling her to drive into the lake.
Teens and their mother survived the crash. After a 2-day search, the 4-year-old and the father were found in different parts of the water.
They located the male 53 yards off the end of the dock on the bottom of the lake. And the divers are both telling me in both cases that the bodies were completely rested on the bottom of the lake.
Now, the mother is in a mental health facility, as you heard earlier, and for the children, they are with extended family. The sheriff's office.
Those kids are going to need mental help too. Those kids are going to need a lot of mental help. Think about this. For two 18-year-olds, a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old, I think that's what they said, for all four of them to let their mom go off like this, kill their dad, for their dad to go kill himself, to watch their 4-year-old sibling get killed, and then to just like entertain their parents, they're going to need some serious mental help too. I'm looking at that family too, honestly, because that sounds like some cult stuff. Y'all got to start asking some questions. I know there's like weird, and everybody's weird, but this is like insanity, all right? This is like cult stuff. Y'all need to look into them. How is this from Philadelphia and this happened in Ohio? I don't understand, but yo.
also told
Wow.
us that the mother is expected to be charged with aggravated murder and possibly other charges to follow.
She needs
Now,
those.
the family and the church did release a statement. I'm not going to read all of it, but to
And the
summarize,
church.
they thank law enforcement for their involvement, and they say they have been working with this family through their challenges, and they also received professional help in the past, writing that this does not reflect their teachings or beliefs, but is instead a result of mental illness. With all of that being said, still truly a
As a church, you do have to say something like that. Like, for real, you cannot have something like this reflecting on you or your congregation. Like, seriously, that is wild.
tragedy. For that full statement,
Insanity.
you can find it on our website, guys. It's just a storyline and a tragedy that you would never expect to hear, but it breaks
No,
your
ma'am,
heart learning all the
Nadine.
details.
Nadine.
Oh, it's just really
Touches my
difficult
heart.
listening to the sheriff describe all of that. Nadine, a difficult story. We thank you for your reporting on this, keeping us updated.
And like I said, y'all, it's a crazy video. Crazy video. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know what kind of content y'all want me to react to next. I appreciate y'all showing love, man. I always got love for y'all. Peace. And prayers for the family. I'm praying for y'all. Peace.